channel. So for those of y'all who are brand new and have never seen one of my videos, hey, my name is Brittany and it's really good to meet you. And for those of y'all who are coming back to watch another one of my videos, thanks a lot for stopping by, and I really hope that you enjoyed today's video. So for today's video, I am clearly filming this purple look right here. This is just like a look that I kind of created recently, and I got a lot of compliments, a lot of questions about it. I really am enjoying this makeup look. I kind of sub out the purple sometimes with some hot pink or yellow or orange. So yeah, have fun, do whatever you have. Don't feel like you have to use the palettes that I used. Recreate it with whatever makeup you have at home. So before we get right into the video, don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you want to see all of the new content that I have planned for you guys. Also, give it a big old thumbs up if you enjoyed today's video. That way, not only do I know that you loved it, but I also know that you're watching. Don't forget to also follow me on Instagram at britty.bruce. That way you can see all the fabulous stuff that I post on there and some makeup of the day, some outfit of the days, cool stuff like that. But yeah, that is it guys. If you want to see how I created this look right here, stay tuned for the video. Bye! Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. So first, I'm going to be taking the Touch in Sol No Pore Blem Primer. I've been using this for a couple months now, and honestly, I am obsessed. It covers my pores up, it fills in any fine lines, and it makes my foundation last all day long, so you definitely should try it out. Okay, so next for foundation, I'm actually going to be combining two of my favorites. I like to go in with the Fenty Beauty Foundation in the shade 190 and the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Foundation in the shade Soft Ivory. I like to mix these two together because the Fenty one is super matte and the Wet n Wild is kind of like a semi-matte. So mixing the two together is like the perfect finish for my combination to dry here recently skin. So if you have these two, definitely try them together, but if not, they're both really good foundations on their own. I personally just love the finish that I get whenever I mix them both together. And now it's time for a little bit of concealer. I'll be going in with the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer in the shade Light. I actually just recently jumped on the bandwagon with this concealer. For the longest time, I've just kind of like been using my drugstore favorites, but finally, when I went to IMATS, I picked it up just because the deal was so amazing for it, and I am seriously so mad at myself for not using it sooner. It is amazing. Literally, you barely need any, and it covers up every single imperfection that you have, and it even covers up really dark circles, which sometimes I suffer with, so it's really nice that this is just a bomb concealer. If you haven't tried it, please try it, because I promise you will be mad at yourself for not trying it. So next, I'll be going in with the RCMA No Color Powder. I heard about this from Jaclyn Hill and Kathleen Lights because they both suffer with drier skin, and ever since I moved to California, I actually have had really dry skin, so I figured I would try this powder out. I actually am obsessed with it. It leaves my skin super airbrush looking. It makes my foundation even last longer, but it doesn't cause it to look cakey or dry. It doesn't feel tight or anything like that, and it also has no flashback in photography. I go in with my dampened beauty sponge to set the remaining parts of my face, and it just leaves the most natural and beautiful finish. And I know I didn't show my brow routine, but I always go in with the Anastasia Clear Brow Gel after powder so that I make sure none of the powder is settled into my brows, and this just kind of defines them a little bit more. Okay, so time for my favorite part, eyeshadow. So we're actually going to be using the Jaclyn Hill palette. This is my favorite palette at the current moment. I cannot stop using it. The first shade we're going to be going into is called Butter. This is like the perfect transition shade for my skin tone. So I'm just using a nice fluffy brush and just blending that all into the crease. It doesn't have to be perfect because you will be blending other shades right on top of it here in a little bit. So next I'll be going in with the shade Roxanne and a smaller crease brush. This is just going to go right below the color that we just previously put on, and you'll notice that I don't really go past the middle part of my eye just because I want to create the most definition towards the outer V. And then I'm going to go in and just kind of blow out and blend the two shades together.
So
So now to add a little fun pop of color, I'm going to go in with the Morphe 12P palette and use the really pretty neon purple shade. This has been like one of my go-to palettes as well. I'm going to be using a really flat brush just to make sure that I am patting the shadow onto my eye so that we don't create any type of fallout. And next you'll notice that I will be going in with the same brush that we used for the shade Roxanne. I'm not adding any additional product whatsoever. I'm just really taking the time to blend that inner corner so there's no choppy lines and so that all the shades just seamlessly blend all together. Now I'm going to go in with the same exact brush in this shade Jax, and I'm just going to blend this into my crease. Now this is just going to connect all the shades together and create a really nice depth and blown out smoky effect. So next I'm going to be using a smaller domed shaped brush for the outer V of the eye in the shade Soda Pop, which is more of a super matte plummy shade. I felt like that kind of tied in with all of the purple tones going on. And I'm also, just like last time, using the patting motion just because I don't want any of the dark shade to fall out. And I'm just really working that into the deep V of the very outer corner of my eye. And we will be going in right now and using the same brush that we've kind of been using for the crease. No additional product, just really blending in and taking our time to make sure it looks really smoky. So from time to time, I will go in with a completely clean brush like the pink one here and just really make sure everything is really clean looking and blended. And now going back into the shade Roxanne in a really small brush that's like perfect for the lower lash line, I'm just going to take this and kind of blend it and use it as almost like my transition shade like I did on the upper lid. And now I'm going to go in with a clean brush, blend all of that out. And then next I'll use the 12P palette again using the purple and just kind of blend the orange and the purple together, and it's just going to create a really pretty transition. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with the Lime Crime Mermaids highlighting palette in the very first shade, which is a really pretty purple shimmery shade. I'm going to highlight first the inner corner of my eyes. So I really like to use the fluffy brush at first just to kind of diffuse the product, and then I'm going to use the same exact brush in the same highlighting shade to highlight right underneath my brow bone. I feel like this kind of cleans it up and really makes the shadow pop since we used a bunch of really matte colors. And I felt like I needed a little bit more pop to my inner corner, so I just grabbed a smaller brush just to really concentrate the product right on the very inner corner of my eye, and I definitely feel like it helped to brighten it up a little bit. And next I'm going to go in and line the lower waterline of my eye using the Stila Smudge Stick Waterproof Eyeliner in the shade Stingray. Guys, this is a really matte black eyeliner, and I really enjoy it because it stays in my waterline all day long. And now using another Stila product, I'm going to go in with the huge mascara just to add a little bit of fullness to my lashes. Honestly, when I wear this mascara, I get a ton of compliments. Even people think I'm wearing falsies, and I'm totally not, because I've honestly been skipping the falsies because my lashes have just been so good to me. They've been so long, so definitely try this mascara if you're looking for both volume and length. Okay, so now let's contour the face up. I'm going to go in with this Shade and Light palette, and guys, like, let's talk about this palette. I need to get a new one, I know, but I just am telling myself, Britt, use the rest of the palette and then get a new one. But guys, I went ham on this palette and I've almost used the entire thing up, which speaks volumes. That means that I really enjoy it. But I'm going to go in and mix the first and second shade together just to get the perfect bronzy look. And I like to take this all around the perimeter of my face, especially my forehead, because it helps to slim it down a little bit and it just brings back life into the face, because foundation really takes away all of the dimension and all of the color from your face. And going in with a really baby domed brush, I'm just going to use the very first shade to really deepen and contour and chisel out the cheekbones, and then taking a little bit on the tip of my nose to slim it down. So now I like to go in with a completely clean, really fluffy brush just to diffuse the bronzer and contour that we just laid down, especially since I'm so pale. Sometimes it can look a little muddy on me, so I really like to go back in and make sure it's all blended out. And now using the same exact purple shade from the Lime Crime highlighting palette, we're going to use this to highlight our cheekbones. I've been loving using this Real Techniques fluffy brush for highlighting. I feel like it looks more natural, it doesn't look chunky, and it doesn't pick up on texture quite as much. And I've been really loving the colored highlighting trend that's been going on recently. I'm going to take that down the bridge of my nose as well, just to add a little bit more dimension all over. Now I'm going to add a little bit of color to my cheeks using the Tarte Amazonian Clay blush in the shade Party. I got this in like a Sephora birthday little thing that they give away every year, like a really long time ago, and I feel like it's like the perfect color for my skin tone, and it really does last all day long. So now going back into the RCMA No Color Powder and my dampened beauty sponge, I like to take quite a bit of this and kind of carve out right underneath where we blended out the blush and contour. This is just going to really make sure that that line is really nice and sharp, because when you do your contour, you don't want it blended down too low, because the purpose of the contour is to really lift up those cheekbones. And guys, this makes a really huge difference, so definitely give it a try. And the final step in this tutorial is going to be lippies. First, I'm going to go in with the Lime Crime Velvetine and the color Teddy Bear and just apply this all over the lips. You don't have to do it perfectly, because we will be going over top of this with the Buxom lip gloss in the shade Dolly. This is actually a plumping lip gloss, and guys, it actually plumps your lips. Like, really, it tingles quite a bit. It's super minty. I've been digging the glossy lips because my lips are super baby small, and this kind of plumps them up and makes them look really nice and juicy. And that's it, y'all. I really hope that you enjoyed today's look. Don't forget to subscribe and give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys!